Alright, part 10. In this video I'm going to show you guys some of the other wires that we had to install. The door trigger, the flashing lights, the horn honk, some of those odds and ends wires, the last minute wires that have to be hooked up before the alarm will work. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Let's go on the inside. Alright, some of the wires were kind of tricky here. So we have a green wire, which is your door trigger, this wire right here. I had to run that one. The brake shutdown, which is kind of interesting. The tachometer, which we already did that in another video. And then just the flashing lights up here, the horn, the ground, all that kind of stuff. So let me show you the one I thought was the most tricky. So basically, right behind this harness is a wire that you have to tap into. So I can get the camera up there, which is your brake. Okay, can you kind of see that right there? So that's the brake, and it is a white wire, and it's just kind of up in that harness. So if you can kind of see where that bolt is, there's a wire with the T-tap coming off of it right here. That is the brake shutdown. So that's kind of a hard one to find. The other one that was a little tricky was up here. So you can get a couple of wires up here right behind this light switch. So right behind there is a brown wire, which is your door trigger, which we tapped into. And there is another wire up here, which is a brown wire. You see that one right there? So that brown wire is our flashing light. So our white wire, their flashing light, and then we also have light output. So that's kind of, and then the door trigger is right here. That's where we tapped into the door trigger. So a couple little tricky wires. There's some other ones in here too that were kind of hard to find, but we showed you how to get the coil. So I'll show you the SWRNC one. That's easy. That's just the brown one. Just trying to look over anything else that might be kind of hard to find. If you look down here, you can see I labeled every wire, so I know what each thing does. I know which one's the ground. I know which one's the siren, which one's the dome light power, which one's the alarm power. Everything has its own label. Ignition 1 power, your coil and your tack. So that's really the only way to do it. And this is your door lock wire. I know that because of the color. But this right here is for my plow, the strobe lights for my plow. So that's a different component. But that's pretty much it. Most of this stuff is pretty easy to find if you follow the magazine or you follow the owner's manual and you look at your wiring schematic that you print out before you start. You always want to make sure you print out a schematic so you know exactly where everything's going to go. And you can get these at carfire.com or 12volt.com. Another wire I wanted to show you that I thought was kind of cool. So up here, there is a black wire, okay? So if you tap into that one, that is your horn honk, and it's just a negative trigger, so it's really, really easy to work. And you just bring that down. Your horn honk is, trying to see, it's right here. So your horn honk is your brown and black wire, and all that does, you just run a black wire up here into your ignition column right here, and that sends that ground signal. Let me show you what that sounds like when that goes off. So as you can see, that's kind of annoying, but it's definitely loud enough to get people to not, mess with your stuff. So all right, so I think that's going to do it for the installation part of this alarm. We will have a couple more, maybe just one more video on how to program. You still have to program the tack when this thing comes from factory. Really simple to do. You still have to program. And it's kind of weird. Now this is something that I want to make sure I can incorporate in our next video, is how you have to take it off of manual transmission and switch it to automatic, especially if this is automatic. And the neutral safety switch, that's an important. There's just a toggle switch on the neutral safety, but I will explain that in the next video, why that's important. So I just took the toggle switch completely out and just connected it together because I don't want the toggle switch to actually like undo itself or something like that. So I just disconnected the toggle switch completely. But I will explain that one in the next video when we do the programming.